Hey, this is Frank from the Brain Garage with a simple and natural 3-step process to overcome nightmares that you may currently be having or have had in the past. And it's so easy, and I think you're going to find at the end of this process that nightmares are actually a gift. That's right. This is something I truly believe once you understand our framework, which is simply this, that dreams and nightmares do not come from outside of yourself. They are a product of your unconscious mind delivered during sleep, and dreams are not an artifact, nor are nightmares. They are essential clues for your life and from your unconscious that are meant to help you move forward to become a bigger, better, and healthier human being. And here's what I mean. Sometimes a nightmare is just meant to jolt you awake and get you out of procrastination. And therefore it serves its purpose. If you wake up and you look around you and you don't become so wrapped up in minor problems and you get right down to something important that maybe you've been putting off. And that's okay. You may not always want to be scared out of sleep. You can just take some time. And here's the method that I am alluding to. It's simply this. Write down your nightmare in full detail. Don't get so wrapped up in beating yourself up, but just write down what happens during the nightmare. Just to give you an example, when I was a kid, I had a pretty typical UFO alien type nightmare. They were yellow people and they were kind of like Gumby. They could elongate their bodies and their arms, and they chased me through my apartment where my family lived, and they could get me anywhere I went, under beds and closets, etc. Now, many years later, I applied my technique, which is writing down the nightmare and thinking about the conditions out of which it arose. And the second step is so simple. All you do is rewrite the nightmare. In this case, what I did was write down that I would stand up, stop scurrying on my hands and knees like a little kid trying to get away, and turn around and face the yellow aliens. So I did that. And the next thing I did was simply ask them, why are you chasing me? What do you want? And the answer that I have gotten and still get is that nothing can harm you, that you don't have to run, that just because something scares you or threatens you, you don't have to be afraid. You don't have to cower or scurry or feel like something is chasing you. That if you just stand up, turn around, and face what you think is chasing you, you'll become much, much stronger. And that's a valuable lesson, especially for a child, to understand that just because something happens in the home or at school, you don't have to be afraid. You could just stand up and say, why are you chasing me? What do you want? And you will see the fear dissipate. So that's the second step. The first, of course, being remembering and writing down the nightmare. The second is rewriting it as if you were watching a movie. The third step is to imagine yourself in the movie. And this is the concept of lucid dreaming, where you are aware that you are dreaming, and you can direct your dream body or your dream personality to live out certain adventures or certain outcomes. In the case of a nightmare, it's literally being inside your body and looking out through your own eyes and facing the scary thing, the boogeyman, in my case, the yellow aliens, etc., etc. And when you can feel yourself facing your fears that are produced in your nightmare, it's an incredible feeling. And this does take some practice. Although it is a simple thing to describe and quite natural, you will have to practice this third step of lucid dreaming a positive nightmare outcome. But it can be done, especially once you take the first two steps, remembering your nightmare, writing it down, that's step number one. Number two, imagining a different outcome during the day. And you can increase your chances of having a lucid dream related to a healing nightmare by rehearsing the positive outcome during the day. Step two. You will probably need to rehearse the positive outcome or write down the positive outcome several times before you can experience the lucid experience of facing your fears. But it can be done, and you will find great strength in the first two steps. Now, we've got some other programs that help you reimagine your nightmare into a positive outcome and to experience it lucidly. I want to close by saying that it's very helpful to remember that your nightmares don't come from outside of yourself. They are produced by your unconscious. And that means that you can ultimately take control of the experience. This in itself, this one step, is often more than enough for many people to overcome their nightmares. You can just say to yourself, I am producing this experience. It may be here to teach me something, to learn something, or it might just be here to wake me up early and get down to the business of getting down to business. So it's very simple. And if you are having or have had nightmares, it's really meant to be encouraging. You don't have to be afraid of bad dreams. You could just say, hey, this is coming from some part of myself, probably in reaction to life experience, and I can just think about it. I can think about what it means. I can rewrite a new ending, and I can experience that new version of the dream where I become a bigger, better, stronger, healthier, and happier person. I wish you luck, and like I said, in this 10-minute version, it's simple, it's natural, but you will have to do it yourself. And I think you'll also gain some strength in doing it for yourself, instead of taking a pill to go to sleep and not have those dreams, which I think in the long run is probably more damaging. Not facing this thing that comes out of yourself. You can do it. Step one, remember and write down the nightmare. Step two, imagine a new outcome. And step three, experience it lucidly, where in your dream you literally wake up and act out the new ending. Act out the positive outcome. Act out the courage or the strength or the awareness that you need. Good luck.